All right, my brother Griff, we should be live right now, my brother. Let me, while the people fill in the chat room, I know it's going to take a couple of minutes for everybody to fill in the chat room. Let me just share some magnificent businesses that I think everybody, hold up now, that everybody should be supporting right now. So we got the ancestor money on deck. If anybody's into metaphysics and spirituality, or some people may call it new age, or some people just may call it the science of our ancestors. We got ancestor money right now. We got readings, we got Reiki, as well as EMF blocker technology. Why don't you hit up crystalcorner.bigcartel.com for more questions concerning that. And that's a good one, family. That's a real good one there. Some ancestor money. I need to give me some. All right, shout out to King Simon with the numerology. We all know numbers is the science of the universe. It's how we, we're more than just the physical body, and studying numerology is a good way to figure out our greater self, since we're multidimensional beings. So my brother King Simon is an expert when it comes to numbers, whether it's relationships, whether it's business, or whether it's your personal life. This man is great at that. If you want more information on that, hit up that brother's phone number. Also, if you are interested in high frequency clothing, you think you got great energy and you want your clothing to match it, hit up Conscious Black Crystal Connection. They got hats that got the gems, got the crystal, got the copper on it, and it's just a great way to adorn your body and represent yourself. Shout out to Riverside Tai Chi. If you got problems with your joints, the brother got the joint balance formula on deck. You can get a deal with for 3 bottles. So make sure you hit up the website, riversidetai.com. Also, Money Magic. You already know, hit up the Cash App. If you're interested in spiritual ways to attract money, use the spiritual techniques. So you get up the Cash App at $Black Magic 363. The fee is $10, and you can leave your email to get it sent directly to you. Also, quality handmade soaps. We're in an era where we don't have to use soaps that got perfume and all the other artificial ingredients in it. We can use natural soaps and natural lotions. Quality handmade soaps got all that. So make sure you contact them by going to their website. Spiritually lit candles, I already told you, these are some of the best candles I've ever seen. They are color changing chakra candles, and they immediately tap into your spirit. So make sure you hit up spirituallylitportal.com. All right. And back with my brother Griff. You can hear me?
Hold on 1 second, bro. Hold on. All right. Hold on.
Yes, sir.
Trying to find where you went. I got you.
Shout out to everybody that came from Urban X TV. I seen a piece Dot and Malcolm did the other day, and it was excellent about, just the same topic that we're talking about. They did a great job. So shout out to Urban X TV. Griff, you there, my brother?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, I do.
All right. Give thanks. How you feel, man?
Man, I feel great, man. I want to know how you feel, my brother. That's the question, man.
To be honest with you, man, just to be very honest and very, very, very transparent.
Yes.
Conflicted would be a word right now, but very very strong and solid in who I am as a revolutionary, as a thinker, as your brother, and doing what I do. And then let me clarify that conflicted because what I attempted to do with Nick, I think just needs a little bit more clarity, because what people were saying after the apology and all of the other kind of stuff that went out, the tweets and that kind of stuff, I watched people go online, and not only did they tear him down, at the same time, never stood up for me and never stood up for the answer. I'm not talking about the average person now. The average person showed mad love. Bro, I got over 300 text messages.
Dope.
I got over 100 phone calls, of which all of them I had to ignore because I went on a talk fast. And I was just quiet. I didn't speak to anybody except the brothers that I needed to speak to. Some brothers in the FOI who put that layer of protection around me. the brother from the NFAC, Black Militia, and a couple of other organizations and brothers I can't mention. And just my family members, my personal friends, Professor Smalls, and I constantly spoke with Dr. Khalid El Hakim from the Black History 101 Mobile Museum, because I've been working hand in hand with him for 17 years now. Mawia Cambone and Kamal Cambone. I had a beautiful conversation with Pam Africa and Rasa Khan. So I only spoke to a few people. Other than that, Brother Rich, I was just quiet. I didn't say anything to anyone. But I watch how people did me, bro. And I'm gonna deal with them people on my own platform, though. All right? Because those people got a lot of nerve, man. I just said to myself, my phone number is accessible to anyone. You understand what I'm saying? My email is accessible. I've heard people talk about me. Woo, and I'm gonna just kind of speak on it, but I'm not gonna get into it, because I just want you to know not who they are, but just basically what they said. So to answer your question directly, I feel good, man. I stood on the truth 31 years ago, spoke up and spoke out, and was prepared to meet and sit and talk with anybody, white, black, Jew, Gentile, Christian, Muslim, Negro, coon, whatever, because I was bringing actual facts to the table. But Brother Rich, they never wanted to talk. Like they don't want to talk now. The only people I can get to sit down and have a conversation is, of course, my elders who are still walking among us, the Ashwa Quasis and Renoko Rashidis and Anthony Browders and the Leonard Jeffries and Professor Smalls and Kaba Kwabene and these brothers and sisters. You understand what I'm saying? And then I do have to admit, there's a few brave, knowledgeable, beautiful Jewish people that I have been sitting talking with, and we've been trying to build certain bridges and put certain things to rest. That's it, bro. I'm all right. So I'm all right, though. I'm good.
Originally I thought to myself when I seen this happen, I said, wow, my brother Griff has been going through this. I don't have my light, family, so it's a little dark. It was a little light. I'm sorry. The first thing I thought was, wow, Griff been going through this since I think 1989.
Yeah.
Since it's 2020. So, wow, my brother, your whole life has, just been involved with being called anti-Semitic. And, I originally, I didn't plan on starting the show like this, but literally, like, I was in the park this afternoon and I'm talking to one of my friends and I'm like, yo, I got an important show happening later. And I'm talking loud, I'm in the park, I'm just chilling, whatever, open area. And a white person comes up to me and says, well, I totally understand what, and he said, Richard Griffin, he went like that, which was funny. We're talking about what Richard Griffin said, but he said, I think you guys' approach is wrong. I get what you're saying. I'm a student of history, but I think you guys' approach is wrong. And, he was like, you're on the phone. I don't want to take too much of your time. And he just kept walking. So number one, I'm surprised. I guess this is the new New York, where they're not, people ain't scared to walk up on you. But I was surprised he walked up on me like that, number one. And number two, I was just shocked at what he said. So I guess let me start out, like that. Griff, do you feel as though regardless of how much truth is involved with what you and Nick said, the harsh realities of their history, of European history, it's just too much for them to handle when you say it the way you say it, Professor Griff?
You see, Brother Rich, I'm going to answer the question, but then hopefully before the next question, I have to put it in context and I have to lay a base for this conversation. So let me answer that question, though. You will find white and black people that say that very same thing. Your approach is wrong. What approach are you talking about where we're on the back foot defending ourselves from an onslaught and an attack from other people, not only attack personally, individually, but attacking the culture and attacking our ancestors. All right. When we say we are the original Hebrews, we say we are the original people. That is our history and our birthright. And then someone gets offended by us telling the truth. Why is it, brother, that I'm anti whatever when I tell the truth? When I speak up and out as a black man and tell the truth? Why is my approach wrong when I defend myself? If someone walked up and slapped you, and whatever you did to defend yourself, right? Why are you wrong by defending yourself however you defended yourself? Whether you blocked it, ran away, sidestepped it, or threw a jab and knocked the dude out. Why are you wrong? So why are we always having to apologize for the truth? And that's the thing I said on my show. So to them Negroes that said Professor Griff has been quiet than a church mouse, you're wrong. I did 2 shows about this, and I waited because my elders, who are my support unit, and my wife, all right, who I've been in discussion with ever since this went down, we decided to be quiet. So no, it's not the fact that I've been quiet. I've had conversations with my moderator, Quan S, on my show, and a few other brothers, a few other my soldiers, Brother B, Son, John Trey, and a few other people, Sean Carter, and a few other people. So no, I haven't really been quiet. I've just been sitting back, collecting my thoughts. But what approach should I take, Brother Rich, when someone is attacking me? If I sit down in an interview, right, as the elder in the interview, 20 years his elder. Nick Cannon is 20 years my junior. And I just want to let people know this conversation tonight is about destroying Nick Cannon or coming at him or whatever. No, we definitely not going to do that. I'm not part of this cancel culture. That's my brother. I love him. I'm going to continue to love him. I'm his elder in this, elder brother in this. And I did have a conversation with him, which I'm going to share with you tonight. All right. So no, my approach.
Go ahead, my brother. Go ahead.
Last point. My approach is my approach, but my approach, Brother Rich, is coming from defense, offense, not offense, defense. I never said anything to attack anyone. I laid out the history, how I've been taught, I've been taught it. But go on. I'm sorry.
No, brother, I'm sorry. I just as far as, because there's a bigger I know people are interested in the Nick Cannon aspect, but there's a bigger topic at hand, and that is, our history being taken from us, our history being stolen from us.
Right.
And, other people, claiming our history. And that is something that yourself, Minister Louis Farrakhan, as well as many others have talked about for years in terms of Black people being the true Hebrews.
Right.
But in terms of, I wanted to say, and based on what you just said, in terms of our brother Nick Cannon, and I don't think, one of the things he said was in a tweet, he said, I hurt an entire community and it pained me to my core. I thought it couldn't get any worse. Then I watched my own community turn on me and call me a sellout for apologizing. Good night, enjoy Earth. I think one of the things that confused people, in terms of me talking to people, Professor Griff, is he also tweeted and he said on my podcast, I use words and reference literature I assumed to be factual to uplift my community, instead turned out to be hateful propaganda and stereotypical rhetoric that pain another community. For this, I am deeply sorry, but now together we can write a new chapter of healing. So I think people, from what I understand, is that they're mad at his approach to apologizing and the fact that he kind of played Dr. Francis Quest Wilson. And then another tweet, he called you Richard Griffin. And people didn't even know that was your name. So it's like, it was almost, he was ashamed to call you professor. And I guess it's not the fact that he apologized, but how he went about apologizing is what made a lot of people, from what I said, it confused me as well. And I understand the whole chess playing checkers thing, but it confused me as well. But how do you feel about the way he apologized, in which he called the literature of Dr. Francis Cress Wilson, hateful or propaganda, whatever exact word he
the hateful propaganda, the rhetoric? No, I totally 1000% disagree. When I first read this apology and I read some other stuff, the first thing that came to my mind is the brother, the man, the beautiful man that I met and conversed with, that man didn't write that. That's the first thing that came to my mind, because all that we've sat and talked about for the 2 or 3 days that, we met, that didn't sound like that would have came from him. All that he knows. You understand what I'm saying? All the people that I know that he sat with and had in Canon's class, and just all that he knows and he's experienced in his life of 40 years. That hurt me to my core, because as you know, I mentioned Dr. Francis Cress Welsing in all my shows, every time I do lectures, whatever. And it's just one of those kind of situations. It hurt me also to see people like Charlemagne the God, pardon me, come behind that and tear our sister to shreds, which I'm going to deal with on my show. But this is factual information, right? This is not hateful propaganda. I don't know what
they called it pseudo. Andrew Saltz called it pseudo with the show with Charlemagne on Brilliant Idiots, I think.
Well, what we need to do, and then we need to define what is pseudo, because these people are pseudo. If we really look up the word and what it really truly means, these people are pseudo because they really have no culture and no history. And they've stolen ours and stolen our birthright. So when we come back to take, you stole my bike. Yeah, and I come back to take it. You understand what I'm saying? You got an issue with that, and you want to call me names. So if this is pseudo, why is it for 40 some odd years, no one really wanted to debate her after she smashed William Shockley? No one really wanted to go up against her. No one took this body of work right here and proved it wrong. But yet, even now that she made her transition to the ancestral realm, what she actually said in this book is playing itself out. All right. When she talks about, hold on for a second, the idea of neurochemical basis for evil, which I would love to debate Charlemagne, the God about, and melanin. So this whole idea of the neurochemical basis for evil is what Nick Cannon was alluding to when he laid out his piece in Cannon's class when he was talking with Professor Griff. You understand what I'm saying? So this is not pseudo. This is factual. This is on point, and I will prove it in any day and time to anyone. You understand what I'm saying? Now, Brother Rich, let me just lay a base real quick. In a few minutes, all right? When Mr. G, I'm not sure if you know Mr. G. If y'all don't know Mr. G, find out. I ain't got time to tell that story. When Mr. G was conversating with me about doing aspects of filming and some other stuff that I wanted to do, me, him, and his son, he said that we're going to meet, but let's meet up in Atlanta when I come to Atlanta. As a matter of fact, Professor Griff, what you doing the next week, man? I said, I'm open. I want to meet with you because I really want to do this film thing and get it done, blah, 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 blah. He said, cool, I'm going to be with Nick Cannon doing the Dr. Sebi film. Would you like to, you want me to ask him, see if y'all can get together? He definitely would love you in the film. I said, cool. So I went with Mr. G, and we went and we hung out at Tyler Perry's studio. And I went and I met with Nick, and we sat and talked. We never planned on doing a Cannon's class. I never planned on doing Wildin' Out. All I was going there for was to meet Nick and do my little piece for Dr. Sebi. You understand what I'm saying? I shot the Dr. Sebi piece, and then me and Nick talked further, and he asked me to do his class. I said, well, when do you want to do it? He says, as a matter of fact, if you're not doing nothing now, why don't we just do it now? So it was at the spur of the moment. So no one prepped, no one prepared. Now listen, let me say this, Brother Rich, please give me a second. Let me say this to the people out there that's running their mouths, Brother Rich. I don't know Nick Cannon like that. I just met him that weekend, or those couple of days. I don't really know. I know of him. You know, I've sat and watched, Wildin' Out a couple of times, and Drumline or some of the other stuff he was doing. I'm like, wow, the brother's doing his thing. But I don't know him. So I'm just meeting a young man right there who, from all intents and purposes, had it going on, had it together, very intelligent, smart, beautiful, loving brother. You understand? So when he asked me to do Cannon's class, I was like, fine, let's make it. I didn't know what questions he had prepared. He probably didn't even have any. Do you understand what I'm saying? So that is the basis of me even being in Cannon's class. And people, please keep in mind, He was trying to get his degree from Howard University. It's Cannon's class, not Professor Griff's class. You understand what I'm saying? It wasn't Professor Griff's class. I was following his lead in the conversation. So for people to run their mouth and say, I'm responsible for him getting fired off of his shows, y'all need to stop that. I didn't know what that man was going to ask or what he was going to say. You understand what I'm saying? But I know one thing, other than the apology and the other stuff that he wrote out, everything he said in that interview, I could back up. Any day and any time. My number is 678-557-2919.
Yo, Griff, you ever seen the debate with Harry Rosenberg, Rabbi Harry Rosenberg, and Brother Polite?
No.
That's the most recent example of a rabbi debating somebody from the grassroots community that I could think of. I seen Khalid debated two Jewish men at the same time.
Yeah, and then he had some Jewish students he debated.
Yeah, there was. Yeah. So there's been numerous examples of when they get in a debate room with us, what goes on. Let me ask you this, Professor Griff. Do you think a lot of people, when they think of, when we say somebody's trying to use somebody, they usually think of somebody who has lesser of somebody trying to use the person who has more. So if I have less money than you, Griff, I may want to use you for your money. Do you think? But what I want to ask you is, do you think celebrities are using grassroots conscious thought leaders for talking points? So they go to the grassroots, whoever's the thought leader at that time, they'll get talking points, make a friend with that person, whatever, go back to their community, sound smart, but then if shit gets hot, they just completely, jump ship. Do you think that's a reality of what's going on right now?
I think it's a reality, but I don't think it's a reality of what's going on right now, especially with Nick Cannon and Professor Griff. I really don't think that. I know and understand from me meeting someone, like when I first met you. You understand what I'm saying? I know you to be a genuine brother. And if anybody asks me on camera or off, it's going to be the same thing. That man didn't have no ill intentions. He never knew this was coming. Someone said I should have pre-warned them. Pre-warned them of what? I didn't know we was even going to do Cannon's class. But let me just put that comment right there in that statement in context, Brother Rich. You're talking about a young Nick Cannon of 40. When I first started talking about this situation, you're talking years of sitting at the feet of elders, going to lectures, talking to people, doing the research, and this kind of thing. So by the time 1988, 89 rolled around, when I had the conversation with David Mills, who dropped dead a little bit later on, who told the Jews that he had an interview with Professor Griff on a cassette tape. They took it, blew it up, and they used the Jewish influence and control in the media to spread that around and end up calling me an anti-Semite. You understand what I'm saying? Which we need to deal with, Brother Rich. But the information that I had pulled from, hold on. No, I came with goddamn receipts today, Brother Rich. Hold on, don't go nowhere. I came from this book, The Secret Relationship Between Blacks and Jews, which between volume 1 and volume 2, there's over 2,000, Brother Rich. Did I say 2,000, Brother Rich? 2,000 Jewish references.
Isn't that banned on Amazon right now? Isn't that banned?
Yeah, I think it's banned, yeah.
Yeah, it's banned, wow.
So 2,000 Jewish references, not black references, not African, not pseudo this and not 2,000 from Jewish people. So when I went and I had the manuscripts before they became books. So when I went into that conversation, I was speaking as a young man from my philosophical perspective. You understand what I'm saying? Now, did I say it in a way that was conducive to educating people at that particular time? No, the thing that pissed me off was the brother, David Mills, walking in there with a white woman, and I didn't know she was Jewish, but the conversation flipped and turned at that particular point. At that time, a young Professor Griff didn't care. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, I was laying it out, and I laid it on thick. You understand what I'm saying? So you're talking about a brother, young brother, Professor Griff, in my 20s. And even prior to that, I was in my teens learning. It's the big version over there. I ain't gonna pull out the big version, but I read this book through and through. International Jew, the founder of the Ford Motor Company, Henry Ford. So after reading this, I said to myself, okay, I got the information. I didn't walk around bashing Jews or hating Jews or whatever. I read a book. I did some studying about history. I never made the connection, Brother Rich, to the music industry until I got in the music industry. And then I made the connection. So I started to meet the Cohens and the Moskowitz and the Blacks and all these other Jewish people that actually controlled every aspect of the music industry. And I wasn't ashamed to say it. You know something? I didn't know it was taboo to say. I didn't know you was going to get banned and your life destroyed and house burned down and shot and all this other kind of stuff for telling the truth. And that's how I approached it. You understand what I'm saying? So you're talking about a young Griff having that conversation with Uncle Tom Coonan Negro, David Mills, who was dating a white Jewish woman at the particular time, sitting at the table, who came to interview Chuck, but ended up interviewing me because Chuck didn't want to do the interview. I had about 80 books with me that day, Brother Rich, because I used to carry them on the tour bus. And I laid out all the information, and most of the information I laid out was quotes, me quoting other Jewish scholars. Yeah, you follow what I'm saying? So when I go, so now when I do the interview and it comes out in the paper, I'm really shocked because I didn't know that I was going to get that clapback, so to speak. You understand what I'm saying? Because I didn't lie. I didn't even quote Black scholars. I quoted Jewish scholars. So I just kind of laid it out, and come to find out, I got labeled anti-Semitic, and I've been that dude ever since. So the whole idea of me being Richard Griffin, I had to change my name. I moved. I actually moved out of New York. I moved. It was Chuck D that went and sat down and talked to Luke in Miami. I got a deal on Luke's label. I did a few albums. Who I had to work hand in hand with the Jewish people at Luke's label. You understand? It was no hatred, kicking people under the table, licking your tongue. You understand what I'm saying? It was a mutual respect because it wasn't a master-slave relationship. It wasn't a teacher-student relationship. It was a mutual relationship. And every day of my life, I got to deal with being called anti-Semitic, anti-Jew, anti-white people. I hate all white people. I'm homophobic. I'm all this kind of stuff. I've met people, Brother Rich, that 20 minutes into the conversation didn't realize that I was Professor Griff. You understand what I'm saying? And when people ask them, they like, nah, he's a nice guy. He's very nice and kind, respectful, because I respect everyone. And they didn't even know that I was Professor Griff. But can I play something for you? Hold on for a second.
You got to be careful with the with the YouTube and the algorithm and the
No, this is this clip I sent you from the white Jewish woman defining anti-Semitism.
Yeah, go ahead, brother. Yeah.
But people, hold on. And people can look it up. Hold on. Anti-Semitism is a trick. Now, I've been living this my whole life, man. Listen.
Yours is a voice of criticism we don't often hear in the United States. Often when there is dissent expressed in the United States against policies of the Israeli government, people here are called anti-Semitic. What is your response to that as an Israeli Jew?
Well, it's a trick. We always use it. When from Europe somebody is criticizing Israel, then we bring up the Holocaust. When in this country people are criticizing Israel, then they are anti-Semitic. And the organization is strong and has a lot of money, and the ties between Israel and the American Jewish establishment are very strong, and they are strong in this country. As you know, they have power, which is okay. They are talented people and they have power, money, and media and other things. And their attitude is Israel, my country, right or wrong, the identification. And they are not
Israel, my country, whether right or wrong, you will not criticize. You can't say anything about Israel. If you do, you're anti-Semitic, and the white Israeli Jewish woman said it. It's a trick that they use. If you say anything, you're labeled anti-Semitic, and since they control the media, all right, as soon as Griff said that, they put it in the media. So the white Jewish controlled media will take that particular information in that article that they have wrote and spread it out. And you always have to live that down, Brother Rich. 31 years later, Professor Griff, if you Google my name, that's one of the first things that come up, because that's planned and that's by design. It's the white Israeli Jewish woman that said that they used the term anti-Semitic as a trick, and they weaponized it to beat people down.
Yeah, definitely, Griff. I mean that clip was powerful, and it needs to be hit. I mean, we can't move forward without, it's a shame that we are afraid of expressing the truth. Everybody has a right to know their history and to know the tricks that are being used against them. And in fact, when was the word? Because that one word they're using to describe what Nick was talking about is conspiracy theory. When was that word invented? I think Dr. Phil Valentine said after the Kennedy administration.
Right. After they had to come up with a word to kind of use to kind of take what people would know to be factual information and put the conspiracy theory on it. To either they was originally doing it at that time to buy time. Then they came up with a couple of other tricks by sealing documents and sealing evidence and not having evidence be admissible in certain court cases and that kind of thing. And they would lock records for 10, 15, 20, 30, sometimes 50 years. I think Dr. Martin Luther King's records were locked for 40 years until they openly admitted being involved in the assassination of Dr. Martin Luther King. But they used that term. The CIA invented it, and they used it and put it among us. But coming after, even after putting the information out, Brother Rich, and then me sitting back, all of the time I've been interviewing with you and doing your show, you don't find me bashing Jews. I just don't do that. I did a couple of programs and a couple of lectures with our brother Philip A. Muhammad, who wrote the book Newest Slave, Willie Lynch's Newest Slave, where he outlined the Jewish control in the music industry. I didn't even in those lectures, I didn't bash any Jewish people. I just don't do that. I toured around the country with Black Dot. We laid out hip hop decoded. We laid out a few things, man. You never find that in my talk. I just don't do that. I'm not this angry dude that have to attack Jewish people. Shout out to Black Dot and Malcolm, Urban X TV. Really appreciate what your brothers did for looking out for, brother. And definitely supporting me. And Black Dot have always supported me. So you don't find this on my mind, Brother Rich, especially with what I do with you, Dot, and whomever. You don't find this in my songs. I just released my album. You don't find that in my work. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not going to shy away from it if I'm asked about it. I work hand in hand with not only Jewish people, other people in the educational field. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm just not the dude that they're painting. Now, did I have to grow the fuck up, Brother Rich, from the 20-year-old Griff to the 60-year-old Griff? You're damn right. All of us do. If I was to go back and speak to the young Griff that did the interview with David Mills, would there be some things that I would say in a different kind of way? Yes, but I'm still standing on the truth. I would just say it in a way that's more palatable. You understand what I'm saying? Because I could see how I said what I said would offend not only a Jewish person, but it would probably offend a Negro who work along with Jewish people who have to keep face in the office, or especially in the music industry. You understand what I'm saying? Because they don't know, Brother Rich, they just as ignorant.
When you bring up the Black and Jewish relationship, you show the book, The Secret Relationship Between Black and Jews. A lot of people will bring up the fact that they were huge allies during they were, they're said to be huge allies during the civil rights movement. So what would you say to somebody if you're talking about the secret relationship? Somebody would say, well, shit, the relationship I know is that they was there with Dr. King and they was allies for us. So what would be your response, or what would you say to someone
Well, I don't want to paint that with a broad swoop, Brother Rich. I don't want to just say, to a degree, they were allies. Only if they benefited, though. If you look at what they benefited from being allies with us. For example, when the question, Brother Rich, of the NAACP comes up, if you don't, as a black person, if you don't know the history of the NAACP, you would think Professor Griff lost his mind. But when you dive into the history, and for a long time, what was it, the first 3-4 years, the first 3 or 4 leaders of the NAACP and those that constructed it were white Jewish people. So until they turned it over to some black people. But when you talk like that, you anti-everything. You're messing up the relationship between blacks and Jews. So wait a minute, let's look at the relationship for what it is. Every time I see some of these black leaders, they got black eyes and broken arms and they crying. I'm like, well, what happened? You in an abusive relationship. Wow. You understand what I'm saying? Every time we see them, they getting beat up on. So then when I start sitting at the feet of Dr. John Henry Clark at First World in Harlem, and I start hearing and listening to the information, then I watch what Dr. John Henry Clark went through with the at that time they called them the Jewish gangsters. Who are they? The Jewish education mafia, Jewish mafia. That was controlling education at that particular time. And then I went through my little thing, and then I watched Tony Martin get beat up on. You remember Tony Martin?
Yes, sir.
Tony, wait. It's Tony Martin's book. The Jewish Onslaught was Tony Martin's book. And how they beat up on Tony Martin. I'm like, wow. I'm like, this is critical, man. These people really got a stranglehold on the 9 areas of people activity that Dr. Frances Cress Welsing gave us in her book. So
what is that? What is that?
Pardon me?
And what is that? The 9 areas, what is that?
Education, entertainment, labor, pardon me. Hold on. Okay.
You all right, Griff?
Bro, let me tell you something, man.
Griff, you all right, man?
No, I'm all right, bro.
What's going on?
No. I'm all right. The brothers said they was gonna send me a message when they're gonna make their rounds, drive past the house. You understand what I'm saying? But I just anyway, okay. Education.
Damn, brother.
Hold on. Education, entertainment, labor, law, politics, religion, sex. Now don't get bothered by that, Brother Rich. I'm good. It just kind of threw me off. Right. Economics, education, entertainment, labor, law, politics, religion, sex, and war for the ultimate purpose of white genetic survival. The truth cannot be told. That thing with Nick Cannon was to let the Nick Cannons of the world and anybody else that dare to speak out. There's a few football players that spoke up and spoke out. A few rappers that tried and got checked and put in their place. You understand what I'm saying? By these people. It's to let them know that anytime that anyone ever says anything pro-black, all right, anything anti that criticizes Israel or even speaks of Israel, they'll put you in your place. And just to let Nick Cannon know, because he really doesn't know me, my name is not Richard Griffin. Let's just clear that up. All right. I haven't been Richard Griffin in 20 some odd years. I crossed over, all right, as the Hebrews would say, I crossed over a long time ago in my spiritual upbringing in the revolutionary circles and the spiritual and religious circles that I operated in. I haven't been Richard Griffin in a long time. I don't even know that dude. Listen, you probably couldn't deal with that dude, Richard Griffin, because I was a different dude. And the people that know me that's watching this, they'd be like, yeah, that dude was violent as fuck. He was just not the dude to fuck with. But the creator groomed me to do what I need to do in Public Enemy. So I need to be that dude. You understand what I'm saying? To do what I needed to do in these streets and in hip hop. So I'm not ashamed of that. But that's who I was and who I came from. My mom didn't know any better. My mom was a Christian, a Baptist Christian with 13 children. She didn't know any better. She had little Richie, and she named me Richard Dwayne Griffin. And beautiful, thank you, Mom. Love you, but that ain't me. I'm not no Irish dude. Griffin is an Irish name. You understand what I'm saying? That's not me, man.
You know, Griff, the idea that one celebrity could impact millions of people, I guess, is intriguing to those who want to liberate the minds of Black people. We feel as though like a LeBron James can do what me and you would take 15 years to do. A lot of people feel as though, yo, this brother has such an outreach and they just can't get it. Why LeBron James? Why, you know, maybe a Jay-Z, or why whoever's the most popular Black entertainer at that time won't just say something to benefit his own people. Do you think it's time? Is that just wishful thinking on our behalf? Because at the end of the day, as we can see, these sponsors control celebrities. Is that, should we just get that out our psyche that, you know, we see Muhammad Ali, and Muhammad Ali is the best example of somebody famous, you know, standing up and putting it all on the line. Is it wishful thinking on our behalf, or is it just us not to do something for ourselves and putting it on somebody else, Professor Gray?
No, Brother Rich, when that truth hits you, man, and you wake up, man, just think where a young Brother Rich was, now Father Rich. You understand what I'm saying? When you first got knowledge, just like, and you woke up. You understand what I'm saying? And you become the man that, you know, that you are now. When you first get that information, man, it's almost like you want to tell the world. And I think that's where our brother Nick is at right now. You understand what I'm saying? And he found the perfect opportunity to set up a situation where he was educating our people and getting his degree at the same time. Smart move. You understand what I'm saying? All that he talked about on all the other shows with everyone else, no one said anything about. Why this one with Professor Griff? You understand what I'm saying? So was it Nick Cannon standing up as an entertainer, as a movie star, and this television star, movie star, standing up, you know, that's going to educate the entire Black race and lead us into the hereafter? No, he wasn't thinking that. That's Cannon's class. You understand what I'm saying? So he wasn't thinking in that way. But regardless of where we at, Brother Rich, when it hits us, it may hit us on the construction site. You speak up and you speak out. It may hit you in the classroom. You speak up, you speak out. It may hit you on the basketball court. You understand what I'm saying? There was other people that spoke up and spoke out. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, I was shocked and surprised at him. I'm going to deal with that tomorrow, though. He went from Lou Alcindor to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. See, that's an awakening, Brother Rich. I was shocked at what he said. I'm not shocked at Charles Coon Barkley. I'm not surprised at that. I can see that come from, and what he says is so dangerous, man, because I keep hearing these people keep saying we're criticizing another race of people. How is that going to advance our cause? How are we criticizing another people? Brother Rich, we are telling the truth as we know it. This is facts. I ask anyone, I started giving out my phone number years ago. Come talk to me if I'm lying.
Hey, Griff, listen, I don't mean to cut you off. Me as well. Listen, any Jewish scholar is welcome to come on my platform.
Please.
Debate one of, you know, the scholars within the grassroots community. And, you know, we're all looking to learn. And maybe we have, as Charlemagne said, cultural blind spots. Let's say we have cultural blind spots. We're open to a dialogue and we're open to debate. You know, we have over 3,000 people watching. I don't know how many people are going to see this, but if you are a Jewish scholar or somebody who wants to debate, or somebody from the grassroots community, just hit up my channel. You know, Richard Merritt at Yahoo. Everybody know my information. You know, and right. You know, I'm open to that. But go ahead, my brother.
So I'm saying to you, and it's beautiful that you would do that, simply because that's the same invitation I gave to Jewish people, Negroes, and whoever. I gave it about 45 minutes ago to Charlemagne the God, the neurological chemical basis for evil, Charlemagne the God. We're going to talk about melanin. Come debate me, dude. And I don't even debate. But you've disrespected our ancestor so much, man, because you snuggle up next to the white boy. Is that dude a Jew?
I'm not sure.
The dude he was on the show with.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
You snuggle up and you get next to white people and you want to run your mouth. It's like, bruh, come on, man. Don't disrespect our ancestor like that, man. It's a problem, man. And it's going to be a problem, dude. Anyway, but I'm saying to you, I don't even debate. But if people want to talk and they want to clear some of these things up, even the things that Nick Cannon said, I will show and prove to you without a shadow of a doubt. This is not hateful speech or bigotry, and this is not hateful propaganda. kill that noise, man. We got receipts, we got facts, man. And as a matter of fact, the facts that we going and the receipts that we're gonna bring to the table are majority coming from Jewish people. And then we're gonna back it up because there's been too many people that's out here like Charlemagne the God who's anti-Kemetic. You understand what I'm saying? And that speak ill of black people and our scholars. For us to let some of these things go, we're spitting in the face of our ancestors. And that's one of the things that hurt me. But if I didn't have a conversation with Nick Cannon, and I gotta say to my sister, Narubi Selah, that's a brave, beautiful, strong woman. Shout out to Narubi Selah. And her and Siddiqui Bakari was one of the first two people I talked to that night. Because on my show, Brother Rich, I didn't know Nick Cannon was apologizing. I was doing my show at the time. I didn't, so it blindsided me. And then when I actually read it, I was like, wow. And then he said, then I guess the next day he was gonna sit down with some Jewish rabbi or something, whatever. He could have called me and I would have put him in touch with Professor Smalls, Kaba Kwabene. I would have put him in touch with a few people. He had the list of people he could have called. He definitely could have called me. So Brother Rich, somebody sent me a text just now. When are you gonna talk about the conversation you had with him? We were texting back and forth. And I can't tell you what we were texting, but me and Nick was texting back and forth. And he was alluding to the fact that how they came at him, neither him nor I was prepared for that. Some people out there said I should have schooled him and he should have been prepared. But I just said to myself, we didn't think it was going to. Now listen, brothers and sisters, family, listen to what I'm saying to you. I did Wildin' Out, Dr. Sabi's piece in the film, the documentary film, and Cannon's class last year. Y'all didn't hear what I said. May of last year, 2019, he put out a snippet. I thought it was a wrap. I didn't know what he was going to do with it. I was fine with whatever he did with it. That's his intellectual property. I left it up to him. I just said, Nick, make sure I get a copy. That's it. I didn't know when Nick was going to put that out. And in nothing that in the interview that we said that was alarming. You understand what I'm saying? So Nick decided to put it out. The same time, Minister Farrakhan did the thing July 4th. So now we got the Professor Griff thing out. The Sean Jackson thing happened. Minister Farrakhan criterion happened on the July 4th. All this stuff happening at the same time. And there was a combustion of energy happening at the same time. And I didn't know it was going to go down the way it went down. So I had a conversation with him because I'm reading things, I'm seeing things, I'm having conversations with my elders, I'm speaking with my wife. And I said, I have to talk to him because I don't know what move to make. I'm thinking, I'm like, did this brother really say this? Did he really apologize? I'm like, I don't like to go off, I don't take anything on face value. I wanted to talk to him directly. When I finally got him on the phone and we were talking, I hear that he was busy and there was some people in the background. So I didn't want to get off into some deep conversation. So we talked for a few minutes. We talked about playing chess and not checkers. We talked about the stand that we need to take in the position that we need to maneuver not only the information, the ancestors, and that kind of thing in. And after I got off the phone, before we got off the phone, he told me he loved me. I said, I love you too. And I'm going to stand by you regardless. You understand what I'm saying? Now, this is when I'm only hearing about an apology. I'm like, okay, so I need it. So I said this. So I wanted to ask so much in that conversation. He said, no, bro, hold on. Let's talk face to face. I'm going to come to Atlanta and let's talk face to face. I said, good, because I'm better at face to face. We don't need to talk on these platforms. We don't need to text anymore. Let's talk face to face. Hit me up. Let me know where to meet you. And I'll meet you and let's talk face to face. That's the last conversation I had with Nick Cannon. All this stuff about y'all can have Earth or the tweets and all that kind of stuff. I know absolutely nothing about because I was on the talk fast. I can't hear you, man.
No, I'm just listening. When you said all this stuff about leaving Earth, I'm just listening.
Yeah, I don't know anything about that. I did read what he said, and I did get pissed off. I do have to admit, because some of the people around me be like, "Damn, bro, calm, bring it down." Him using my government name. I'm like, bro, we don't know one another, but you know I'm not this Richard Griffin dude. You understand what I'm saying? I'm like, that's disrespectful, man. That's like, you don't use my government, my old government at that.
You know, but Griff, let me ask you this. Are you, as well as the community of Black people, are we too emotional in regards to Hillary Clinton may go around kissing Black babies? She'll do the latest dance with Jay-Z and Beyonce. Bill Clinton may blow the saxophone or Arsenio, but at the same time, he can lock every nigga up in sight. So they're able to play the game, or as we say, they're able to play chess. But when somebody from our race may play chess, we may not see it because we're so emotionally involved in them being so direct with the truth. Do you think we're too emotional when it comes to that and we don't understand moves people with certain power may make? They can't move the same as us or somebody who makes $20,000. That's just the way the world works. So do you think we're not seeing it the same way we see Hillary Clinton being playing chess?
Well, we can't move the way they move, Brother Rich, because they don't have to worry about keeping the lights on. They don't have to worry about all of those other things that we have to keep on the front of our minds. Now, I've heard people say about me recently, questioning my ability to be this junior elder that I am, whatever the hell that means. I'm not sure, but I'm saying to you, when I said what I said in 1989 to David Mills in that interview, that was a young Professor Griff willing to risk it all. Whatever little I had and whatever little that was coming to me, I know for a fact, and this is facts, that they have maneuvered Negroes around me, all right, to make sure that I don't make any money. Any little money that I would have made and did make, they took from me, Brother Rich. I don't have anything for them to take. I'm not connected to Hollywood. I'm not connected to their world like that. I'm not on their job. I don't answer to them. I rarely even speak to them. I don't have any connection, so there's nothing else to take from me. Richard Pryor said, I can't give up anything. I ain't got nothing left but my nuts. They took everything. You understand what I'm saying? So I don't have anything. So I can say what I need to say. The platform that I built, like the platform that you built, I built that, along with the support of the people. You understand what I'm saying? So if they want to cut me off YouTube, which they're trying to do that now, and Facebook and whatever, that's on them. I can't control that. I can't control it. But I don't have anything, man. It wasn't until the Black Dots, Siddiqui Bakari's, Professor Smalls, and the Nick Cannons came to my aid quietly. You understand what I'm saying? To make sure that I'm all right. There was a beautiful thing that happened to me today. Michael Imhotep from the Black History Network, he sent me a tweet and asked me, he says, I hear these things online and people are asking, I wonder if Nick Cannon's okay. And nobody's asking about Professor Griff. That literally stopped me in my tracks. I was like, wow.
That's facts.
Wow. Black Dot checked on me. The first person I heard from, to be honest with you, bro, is Narubi Selah and Siddiqui Bakari and my wife. Because I was still sitting in this chair that night when everything was coming at me.
Griff, I want to take this time to just for you to tell the people, I seen Dot do this, and shout out to Black Dot at Urban X.
You're breaking up, Brother Rich.
Griff, can you hear me now?
I can hear you, yes, sir.
Yeah, I want to just take real quick. This is very important. I don't want to forget. I want you to give the people your Cash App. I seen Black Dot do this, and I think it's important that, you know, I follow the brother's lead in terms of, yes, it is important that, you know, we were very concerned with Nick, and we should be just as concerned with Professor Griff. So let the people know how they can support you intentionally, as my brother Blue Pill says, and I think he got it from Derek Grace. Let the people know how they could support you, my brother.
Well, it's a beautiful thing what Black Dot did, man, and the people that came on to assist him. And shout out to Red Pill and Blue Pill. My cash app is $ Professor Griff. We have to be careful that when Black people stand up and support other Black people, you understand what I'm saying? Because I think Black people know me. I'm not gonna fold. I'm not bending. I'm not apologizing for the truth. I'm gonna stand on the shoulders of our ancestors. Do you understand what I'm saying? So right now, Brother Rich, and if you need me to show you the receipt, I will. I showed my wife today. Right now, PayPal won't even release the money that was sent to me, man.
Man.
So it's like it's there. I'm not looking at it. I know how much is there, but I can't touch it and use it. I can't touch it and use it to finish manufacturing my Serious Minds brain tonic. I can't use the money to send out books that people ordered. I'm trying to do that because they froze the money. And I don't know why. They said they had to look at my buying and selling history. So people can support me by sending the cash app, $ Professor Griff. That's just $ Professor Griff. Or they can go on my website, www.professorgriff.me, order a book, order the brain tonic, order any of these books. The Warriors Tapestry, which I talked about in Cannon's class. Me and him went into, and we went over symbology and the psychological covert war on hip hop, and we went into symbology. So they can support that way, Brother Rich. But if they want to just give a donation to support the cause and Black independent media and Professor Griff, they can just hit the cash app, $ Professor Griff. And I want to thank Black Dot for doing that, because the people, whether it was a nickel, dime, or a dollar, I did get a crumbled up food stamp, and that was cool, but they supported. You understand what I'm saying? And I really appreciate that, man. Really, truly appreciate that. Over 65 people sent something. You understand what I'm saying? Regardless of what it is. Whether it was $100, and I wish I could read all their names, or a dollar, people said, no, we're going to support you. The beautiful thing about that, they not only sent financial support, they sent me messages to my phone number and said, Griff, I love you for standing strong, man, and standing up on the truth, man, and not apologizing. After all these years, 31 years.
Hey, Griff, I understand you want to teach people the truth, and I understand that, you're
breaking up, Brother Rich.
Man, Griff, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yes, sir.
Do you feel as though it's extremely difficult and almost impossible to teach people about their true history and have them, because somebody may be interested and somebody may accept what you're saying as 100% facts, but feeding their children may be more of a priority than agreeing with something that happened 1,000, 2,000 years ago. So feeding their children or their family or taking care of their wife and sending their kids to a good school may be more of a priority than the fact that we were on top of the world 1,000 years ago. The fact that we live in a capitalistic society, the fact that cash is king, does that make it damn near impossible for what you're talking about and what you're teaching to become mainstream? Professor Griff, do you ever feel like you're wasting your time doing what you're doing, Professor Griff?
A, I'm not wasting my time. This is what I was called to do. Mm-hmm. B, cash is not king. Simply because we will find a way, and we've always found a way to feed ourselves and our family. If we do not stand on the shoulders of the ancestors, and we won't even have the wherewithal to take any kind of knowledge we get from any institution and make it applicable to our lives, to build lives for our children, if we don't stand up on the truth. Who are we without our ancestors? Who are we without the truth? Our weapon is the truth. You understand what I'm saying? So you won't even have a life. I can't live a life of a coward. I can't live a life of a coon and a Negro. I can't live the life that Charles Barkley lives. You understand what I'm saying? I can't live like these Lamont Hill and all these other flunkies. I can't live like these people, lying to themselves every day that they look in the mirror. Oh, damn, man, I look nice today and cute. Combing your hair to the side, talking, man, I'm not black. I'm African American. I'm a minority. I'm all this other stuff. You tricking and fooling yourself.
Griff, are you still there? I can't hear you no more, my brother. Griff, are you still there? Family, I don't know what happened. You okay?
People defend.
Yeah, Griff. Family, let me know what y'all hear right now. Let me know what y'all hear right now. Can y'all hear me? Do you hear Griff talking? Am I talking over Griff? Because I don't hear him. He sounds frozen. What do you hear right now, family? Let me know in the chat room. Can you hear Griff? Can you hear me? Let me know what's going on. Froze? Griff, you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you.
Are you broke up for a while? Froze up. Yeah, Griff froze. Yeah. About the last 60 seconds, I didn't hear you. You froze up, my brother.
Yeah, you froze, Brother Rich. I can't.
Yeah. Weird things happening, Griff. I said you froze. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. Yeah, weird things happening right now. I don't want to be a conspiracy theorist. So,
yo, this ain't no conspiracy. We know what's happening right now.
Right.
So Jews defend being Jewish, and they defend their history, and they will defend their homeland by any, every, and all means necessary. If we don't have the knowledge that we have from our ancestors and our elders that walk among us, and the rich history of who we are as the Black gods and goddesses, we have nothing. Cash could be king, but no, we have nothing, man. I have nothing without Dr. Francis Cresswell. I have nothing without Dr. John Henry Clark. I have nothing without the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. I have nothing, man. I have nothing without Cabo Quap, and I have nothing without the Ray Hagans of the world, and I have nothing, man. Joy DeGrues of the world. I have nothing. Everything that all of the Shashi McIntyre and all of them, Professor Jeffries and Smalls and Professor Simmons and all of them have given us, I have nothing, man, without our rich history, man. And I'm not going to trade that in for absolutely nothing in the world, man. I don't care how much money they say I'm not going to make. That's absolutely fine with me. I'm going to stand on my principles, and I'm going to stand on the shoulders of the ancestors, man. I'm sorry, man. Indeed. And I'm not going to apologize for the truth. I've been every name in the book, man.
Indeed.
I gotta stand on and beat down and beat back. Mentally, not physically. The people that want to throw this book in the garbage, like Charlemagne the God, Black Out Through Whitewash by Dr. Suzar, who talks about and goes into melanin. I want Charlemagne the God to come to the table. We could do a Zoom call, it don't matter. We can do it on here, it don't matter, Brother Rich. But for him to disrespect our ancestors and our elders, you understand what I'm saying? It's very disrespectful, man. And I'm gonna continue to speak on that.
Yeah.
Charlemagne the God, do me a favor, bro. Get this book by Michael Bradley, The Iceman Inheritance, The Prehistoric Sources of Western Man's Racism, Sexism, and Aggression. What Nick Cannon said in the interview with me and Nick Cannon in Cannon's class was 1000% right and exact, and I can show and prove. Plain and simple. There was no hateful rhetoric and hateful propaganda, and y'all need to stop that madness.
You know, a lot of people said immediately, a lot of people immediately said, you know, they threaten his family. Do you understand the moves he make if they did threaten his family, brother? Would you understand it?
As a 39-year-old black man, where Nick Cannon is right now and what he come from and where he's trying to go, do I understand? Of course I understand. That's why I'm not on your platform and on your show tonight blasting that brother. That's why I told Nick Cannon personally, me and him on the phone, I love you, man. I'm gonna stand by you, bro. You understand what I'm saying? But more so, I'm gonna stand by our ancestors and I'm gonna stand up for the truth. You understand what I'm saying? So I understand the moves he makes. He's playing chess on how he knows how to play chess. But Professor Griff plays a different kind of chess. They've been listen, they want me quiet a long time ago. Every time you hear my name, Professor Griff is anti-Semitic and he's been kicked out of Public Enemy for anti-Semitic statements. How many of you Negroes gonna run that same garbage, that same BS? And if you can prove that, my phone number is 678-557-2919. Prove to me and prove to the world that I was kicked out of Public Enemy because I was anti-Semitic. I said on Nick Cannon's class, and I'm gonna say on this platform tonight, I am the Semitic people. You are the Semitic people. We are the Semitic people. I cannot be anti-self, anti-black, anti-who I am. No, we are the Semitic people. All them other people are anti-Semitic.
Once again, family, listen, if any Jewish scholar is open for a debate, I just posted the number sci-fi. Shout out to sci-fi moderating the chat. You could text that number right there, 646-760-7806. The only way we're gonna learn is by having an open conversation.
Right.
You know, there's some harsh truths about your history, and even, you know, maybe there's harsh truths about our history that our people won't forget. Maybe both ways, who knows? But we would love to have
Brother Rich, I do have to give credit to our good brother Tony Martin, man.
Yeah, indeed.
Gave us the Jewish onslaught. They came after this brother for asking a question in a lesson in a classroom. He asked a question.
Wow.
And they came.
Oh man, yeah, I think Griff is breaking up again, family. We got to check on my brother Griff, man. It's been a little funny. Griff, you there?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. You're all right, my brother. You're all right, my brother. We never had a broadcast. Listen, we never had a broadcast with you breaking up like this, man.
Yeah.
So I'm just, yeah. I want to make sure you're all right, my brother. I want to make sure. I don't want to make light of the situation. I want to make sure my brother's good. What's going on, man?
I don't know, man, but as soon as I start talking about Tony Martin and the Jewish onslaught, it's, you see, whatever Jew want to come to the table, whatever Negro they prop up that want to come to the table, I'll take on 3 of them. It's the Negro, Charlemagne the Fraud, Martin Lamont Hill, and a couple of other Jewish people. They can come on and then bring your receipts, and I'm gonna bring a couple of brothers with me and a sister, and we're gonna talk. You understand what I'm saying? And we're gonna lay it out. And we're gonna take what I said and what Nick said in the interview, and we can break it down and we can have that discussion. You see, Brother Rich, let me tell you something, man. And you already know this, and the people listening already know. They don't want to have that conversation. They avoid that. And every time they've had that conversation, you see what happened.
They
do not want to have that conversation, man, because it's not going to be no name calling, no bashing, no criticizing people. We're going to lay out facts and we're going to bring the receipts. I need everybody to look this man up, Tony Martin, on YouTube. You understand what I'm saying? We're going to bring the facts, man.
Hey, Griff, I don't want to keep you too much longer, but one thing the grassroots community, the conscious community, whatever term we're using now, was extremely happy about was that Nick Cannon also, regardless of the interview he did with you, he's working on the Dr. Sebi documentary. And for anybody within the grassroots, man, Dr. Sebi is like, that's a divine individual to us in terms of health and what he taught us as being electrical beings. We didn't learn that in the hospital or in school. So when he taught that science of us being electrical beings and us needing to eat electrical foods, man, that brother was a living God to us. What do you think happened to the documentary now? Because Nick is in control of it, I believe. He has the creative control. And the fact that somebody like you, he took down videos of Tariq Nasheed also. The last video he did, he took down a video of him and Joy DeGroot. So what do you think? I mean, do you think the documentary is going to come out the same, my brother?
Well, according to how they define who's the anti-Semite, according to who they label as haters and criticizing whomever, won't nobody be in a damn documentary film.
Wow.
Because they're lumping all of us together. When we speak up and out for who we are as a people, all of a sudden we anti everybody else. Just because I'm pro-Griff, that don't mean I'm anti Brother Rich.
Right.
I'm pro-Griff. So
they do that with the police, Griff.
I don't know who's gonna. I didn't know that they took those. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, my brother. Now, okay, keep talking. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I didn't know that they took Tariq Nasheed and Dr. Jordan.
No, on YouTube, the Cannon's class on YouTube. Somebody told me and I checked, but the recent video he did with Tariq Nasheed is down. the recent video he did with Joy, we know her as Joy Leary from back in the day, but I believe the sister changed her name to, I believe, Joy DeGrue. So the recent video he did with her, and she talks about post-traumatic slavery syndrome. That's what she's known for. Her video is down. So yours, Tariq, and Dr. Joy, all your videos is down. So a lot of people are wondering, well, what's going on? Is the Dr. Sebi documentary going to come out? And if it does come out, will it be the real Dr. Sebi documentary that we want?
Right. But my thing is, people can't see that this is an attack on us as a people and our history.
Yeah.
They have to see that, man. Because I'm not sure Tariq Nasheed is saying what I'm saying. I'm not sure Joy DeGrue is saying what I'm saying. If we're coming from different angles and we're bringing pieces to this to complete the circle and the pie, come on, you want to take everybody's video down? Wow. This is critical, man. This is, I mean, what is it? Do you try to use Nick Cannon by doing that to him, to use Professor Griff to get to Minister Farrakhan? How does this work? You understand what I'm saying? So if Farrakhan is the target and you can't get to the target, you're going to destroy everyone around them. That even one brother called me and told me, look, I took a picture with the minister and they came at me. I ain't even say anything. One brother said I was in the picture, but I was way in the back getting out the car. I wasn't even in the picture and they came at me.
Wow.
I was like, wow.
Hey, Griff, do you think so?
These people are demonstrating and showing to the world and proving everything that we say about them. And it's sad.
Hey, Griff, if there was one message you would say to Black celebrities right now, a lot of people feel as though Black celebrities are still slaves regardless of how much money they have. But, you know, I guess if you have a job, you know, you have to respect what the job tells you to do, you know, to a certain extent. But what message would you say or have for Black celebrities, my brother? Oh man, yo, family, I don't know what's up with Griff tonight. Griff is not even on here no more, family. Family, tell me, can y'all hear me? Griff ain't even on my feed no more. He got disconnected. Can y'all hear me? Family, let me know if you can hear me in the chat room. Griff is not even on the feed no more. I just want to know if y'all can hear me or if I'm off completely. I don't. Griff, what happened to you, man?
Wow.
Griff.
Peace, love, light, and respect. Peace, 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 family.
Griff, can you hear me?
Brother Rich.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
All right. Because you completely cut off. So can you hear me? Is there a delay? Can you hear me?
No, there's no delay. You just keep going in and out.
Okay, so listen, I'm not gonna keep this much longer because I see what's happening.
Yeah.
But Griff, I ask you, what message would you have for our brothers and sisters out there in the celebrity world, in the entertainment world? What message would you have for them in terms of the information that you are bringing forth, or the information that our ancestors have left for us that are being targeted by mainstream media?
But Brother Rich, I've been teaching for a long time, and all of a sudden now, because I do Nick Cannon's class, all of a sudden it's a problem. I've been teaching for a long time. So people have been learning from me for a long time. The books that I put out, Brother Rich, people have dissected the books and it hasn't been a problem at all. You understand what I'm saying? It wasn't until I did Nick Cannon's class that it became a problem. So other entertainers and sports players have known about Professor Griff for a long time. You understand what I'm saying? Zigzagging, crisscrossing across the country, doing over 4,800 interviews and lectures. So people have been known. So the message I would give, the question that you're asking, what is the message that I would give to young artists and young entertainers and young people that are listening and paying attention to Professor Griff? Brother Rich, I had to go back to the thing I laid out earlier. I didn't know that Nick Cannon was going to release the Cannon's class that we did damn near a year later. I did that last year.
Family, there we go again. Here we go again. Y'all know, I mean, I'm not trying, listen, I don't know what's going on with Griff tonight. And I've been doing shows with Griff since 2014. We've been going live for the past year, but yeah, man, this just hasn't happened before in terms of our feed getting interrupted like this. I'm not, frozen, right? You can hear me? Can you hear me? Can y'all hear me though? That's what I want to know. Can y'all hear me? You good? So I'm good, right? I'm good, but Griff is not? We hear you. All right, so I'm not sure yet. I think, yes, you good, Rich. So I think listen, family, I'm gonna end it there. Now I look stuck. I'm gonna end it there. Oh, you hear me? Even on my Zoom, my picture's stuck. Okay, now I'm not. Listen, family, I'm gonna end it. I'm gonna wrap it up. Griff is going again. I swear this never happened before. And it's not like anything Griff is, here goes Griff again.
I'm got you.
Griff,
Brother
man.
Rich.
Griff, can you hear me? Wow. Yeah, this might not work. So let me just let you know, man. I want to thank y'all for joining the show tonight. The truth will be revealed one way or another, family. At the end of the day, like I said, we are open to debate. Any of the scholars in the grassroots community, but this is a new day and era, man. We're not slaves no more. And we don't have that slave mentality like y'all think we have. So we will stand on our truth. We will stand on our square. Shout out to all the brothers and sisters telling the truth and everybody globally and worldwide who's telling the truth and let it be known, regardless of how harsh the history of a race may be, even if it's my race or another so-called race, even if race is a myth. We identify ourselves in certain categories. I identify myself as living in New York. So we have these definitions that we take upon, and regardless of whatever history is about New York or whatever, I deserve to know the truth about my history as well as anybody else's history. So with that being said, man, I want to thank my brother Griff for being. I'm talking, but I'm trying to see. You could ask a question if he was still here. I don't know where my brother went. After I get off here, I'm gonna call my brother personally. Here you go, Griff. And he come on, I still can't hear him. So like I said, family, let me call my brother personally and make sure my brother's okay. And family, because I can't even hear him.
All the years I've been doing this with Brother Rich.
Griff.
Never really happened.
Griff. Yeah. All right, family, we out of here. I'm gonna see you, family. I'll be back tomorrow, my family. I'll be back tomorrow, family.
Maybe I call him Father Rich.